man, if you check out the logistics and really peep the logistics in terms of how we are located in different states as a rap group, like our rap group is in multiple states, like, you know what I'm saying, coast to coast, like from the East Coast to the West Coast, the West Coast to the East Coast. Mr. Brock Lee Landers, Mr. Brock Lee, man, he lives in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? He's in Chicago. I used to live in Chicago. He and I used to live out west. Like, and anybody listening to this who's from Chicago, if you hear out west is like going to the west side of Chicago. I don't mean that. I mean, I've been out west in Chicago. I've been to the south side. You know what I'm saying? I lived up north. I was on the north side. You know what I'm saying? But I know people out west. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been out there. You feel me? And so that being said, I left Chicago. Brock is in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Sen is originally from California. You know what I'm saying? And he and I and Brock and Spank motherfucking T, we were all out west. You know what I'm saying? He's lived in different parts of the country as well. You know what I'm saying? I've been in more than 25 states and out of country. So our rap crew is like spread out. Man, I got a homie right now in Oklahoma. Homies in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? People I went to school with, man. People that I'm from the block, you know what I'm saying, with. Like, people, you know what I'm saying? The folks that I know, man, from out west, man, be all over the place. You understand? So, our rap group, man, you gotta put that in a perspective that, like, there are a lot of people in the neighborhood that I'm from. You know what I'm saying? And the folks that I know, man, from out west, man, are all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, internationally, worldwide. And that's real shit. Hey, so the point is this, like, we make light of a lot of, like, you know, our, work in shit that we do. But really, man, honestly, like, we're all techies, man. Like, Sen the Soul Stealer, Sen, my homeboy Sen, the homie Sen, producer, rapper, lyricist, graphic design illustrator. Sen is multi-talented, man. Martial artist, you know what I'm saying? That's my homeboy, man. Auto expert, auto tech. You know what I'm saying? My boy Sen, he's a techie, like me. Like, we're both techies, like each other. Brock, techie. You know what I'm saying? Spank motherfucking T, man, I'm just gonna put this out there, man. Spank T was on a roll, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my homie, but also fucking in the streets like heavy. And like all of my boys, man, like when we wanted to do good in school, we did. Like, my homies are honor roll level students, man. And I've already explained this. So if you want the backstory, this isn't the podcast where I go into the backstory. You can see we're at hundreds of episodes. This is like, what, 270 range or whatever. But yeah, man, I mean, man, we had to go to the streets, man, during the 80s and 90s to do what we had to fucking do back then, because our neighborhood, our region, our county, our town, our whole region was engulfed in fucking in a drug war. So, and it was all over. Like, you'd walk outside, drug war. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, the point is, man, is that to do the rap shit that we do, man, it's actually highly complex, man. It's a highly complex. I mean, you can look at it two different ways. I mean, to write some raps and whatever, man, that's one thing. But to pen the type of, like, sophisticated raps that because we do two different types. We do the like, super easy shit that's just like, you know, write it, quick, go. And then we also do the more complicated, highly sophisticated, ultra complex shit. So here's the point, man. We kind of operate on like two different modes, right? It's just kind of like with characters in movies and film. You know, I've got two types of modes, man. It's like, you know, I've got that like mode where I'm just like drunk and it's like I look scruffy and kind of like, you know, borderline disheveled and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, you know, I got that whole like rugged, like kind of like Danny Trejo kind of look, right? With the like chisel, like kind of like face with the like, you know, little pock marks and shit from like childhood acne. See, I'm not even embarrassed, dog. I used to have bad acne and shit when I was a kid. And then, you know, it cleared up and whatnot. But I mean, fuck, I got like scars and shit. and then just being like a rugged fucking skater, like on the streets, just like skating fucking hard and thrashing and shit, you know what I'm saying? Mosh pit type shit. Fucking just playing a lot of sports, dude, just being in the streets, dude. Then there's the like mode where I'm like cleaned up and I look like a choir boy, and I'm all like all trim, like clean cut, like, you know, like I'm all preppy and shit. And you're just like, damn, Grover? And I'm like, yeah, dog. And you're like, man, you look hella slick. And I'm just like, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, dude, there's like, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's how we operate musically and like business wise, man. We could just throw down some raps, you know what I'm saying? Like, in no time, just like rap, you know what I'm saying? And then it's kind of like, okay, that's cool. Y'all are doing some just like, you know, some just like routine kind of raps. And then we have raps that we like actually put together, that we orchestrate, that we choreograph, and then we talk about this, we talk about that, like how this is going to work with the musical composition. Because, I mean, look, man, we're not just like rapping over beats, dude. Like, we've studied music. Like, my homies, man, and I, we use technology. And, I mean, we can just record some dirty shit, or we can record some shit that is fucking professional, and we've done both. Right now, in terms of this new campaign of ours for 2019, we are in the queue pitching material to the major record labels that you know, like fucking household name labels. Like, I'm talking American, like, institutions, like staple, like companies from like the big, it used to be what, the big 7, and they dropped one and it was the big 6 or whatever. Back in the day, dude, there used to be a handful of like major labels. It was the conglomerate. But fucking, anyway, man, we're OGs, dude. And, we do it right when it comes to like the business shit, when, negotiating with different entities that are companies that are fucking for real. So, we're not just like, dude, we're not sending the majors bullshit. Like, we've got tracks in the queue, like queued up, that we've taken time, like painstakingly, like meticulously, like put it together, you know what I'm saying, in a packaged format that is industry standardized format. So, a lot of the specs, man, like, you know, like learning that shit when I was new in the industry, when I was a kid, like learning about all those little, like, you know what I'm saying, all the idiosyncrasies and all of the intricacies and all the like underlying processes of the industry. There's a lot to it. You can be a fucking rapper, dude, and just not even give a fuck about like BMI and ASCAP, and you can just rap. You might be successful, you might not be, you might be somewhere in between. In terms of the actual craft of the industry, that's what we do. We participate in the actual trade craft of not just music, writing, composition, raps, singing, whatever. I'm not saying I'm a singer, but I'm saying I have homies that they do harmonize. They do have good voices with which to sing and rap at the same time. And, I mean, man, I've worked with all kinds of vocalists. So, female, male, female, dudes, chicks, like people who are pro, some people like in between, some people that are like beginners, you know what I'm saying? But, having worked with that wide range of artists, man, the shit that we do, man, is actually highly complex. It is actually very complex. It takes a lot of time. If you want it to sound right, if you want it to sound a certain way, if you want to have an actual chorus, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to just some like quick shit that you come up. Look, man, I understand simplicity, man, really does dominate. Like, a lot of times you hear about these like successful projects that they were just done on the fly. It's just some spontaneous shit, spontaneity. And I understand that too. It works both ways. But if you want to record some shit that sounds good, you know what I'm saying? You're not just using like some underground dirty mic, some like internet like mic that you picked up at like Radio Shack. I'll say back in the day, man, a nigga would go, you know what I'm saying, and be like, yo, am I gonna like pay this like fucking G, man? This G ticket, this fucking you know, rack and shit? Am I gonna like cash out like 10 hundos, like, man, for a microphone? Or am I just gonna go to Radio Shack, dog, and get me like, I don't know, like a $25 to $40 mic and shit? It's like digital, like plug and play, USB. So, you know, the game's changed, man. And we are the professional studio. We have all of the shit ourselves now, man. And we've been behind the big mixing consoles and boards, watching sound engineers do it. Now we're the sound engineers doing it ourselves. So, you know, shout outs to all the sound engineers we've ever worked with, who have ever worked with us, you know, that we've had the privilege, you know, and honor to work with and whatnot. And I mean that shit, because we've been in a lot of, you know, big studio houses, man, that have worked on fucking projects that are no joke projects. So yeah, man, that's just a little, you know, more behind the scenes. And then the other thing is that traditionally a lot of cats would come out, like before the internet, they just come out and then you would hear like the backstories afterward. You see how I've given y'all a lot of the backstories already in advance, like of us being a mega crew, because y'all have been working with us as, you know what I'm saying, supporters, like supporting the movement, you know what I'm saying, and this is all, we're all part of it, you know what I mean? So it's like, a lot of times you don't get that unless it's like Make It in the Band type shit, you know what I'm saying? P. Diddy, you know, shout outs to Bad Boy, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no animosity, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never disliked Bad Boy, you feel me? You know, like, I'm not a rapper who, like, in the industry had beef with Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, like, man, I was watching all them shows, like, Make It in the Band and all that kind of stuff, man. And that was one of my favorite shows, man. I like that shit. The way P. Diddy had that house set up and those fucking, you know, those kids came on the show and shit. He gave them all them opportunities, man. And you just looking at them like, dog, for real. Like, you got an opportunity to stay in this house, rent motherfucking free. You got access to the studio for free. I mean, you got some little few chores and shit to do. Motherfucker, man, you should be happy. But you know, it was on some real life, you know, some real world is what I meant type shit, man. Motherfuckers be like arguing and shit. It's like, come on, really, dude? Like, just record the motherfucking raps, dude. And do your motherfucking chores, dog. Like, have some kind of respect for the man that gave you all of the tools, all of the shit that you need to go to the motherfucker. Man, them kids was like some brats and shit. Like, ungrateful ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? That shit. I mean, I used to just cringe watching that show. I mean, I felt, I mean, I'm being honest, like, Sean Combs gave those motherfuckers everything, man. He asked that one kid to just walk across the bridge and get him a fucking, his pie that he liked. He's just like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Could you just go and get me my pie? You know what I'm saying? And that nigga threw a fit. That youngster, man, was like, man, you know, oh man, he'll go get him a pie. It's like, motherfucker, nigga, he gave you a goddamn house to live in rent free and the motherfucking studio and food to eat. And all the nigga asked you to do was get him a slice of motherfucking pie, homeboy. Wow, and you got a problem with that? I think that nigga, if I'm not mistaken, he said something like, he didn't feel safe or something walking across that bridge at like 10 o'clock or something in fucking Manhattan or wherever the fuck it was. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, for real, dude? Like, somebody just basically hands you the keys to the fucking kingdom and you gonna complain about doing some chores and shit, motherfucker. That show was wild and just outrageous. And I'm just, you know, and I know people, man, just had to think like, yo, man, if I had that kind of opportunity, man, I do what the man asked me to do. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to hit the studio. I'm going to record my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put out some fucking hits, you know, some top-notch fucking winners. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't going to be like those little snotty-nosed, little bratty, ungrateful ass, nigga ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Them kids, man, them kids was stupid. I'm just saying, like, the way they acted at the time was fucking stupid. But I like the show. I really did like the show. I mean, shit, man. he should still do. Hey, yo, Sean Combs, I doubt you'll ever hear this podcast. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, man, if you do, yo, shout outs to Bad Boy Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I was never on some East Coast, West Coast, East Coast beef. You feel me? And, man, fan of, Biggie, fan of Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Fan of, like, you know what I'm saying? Bad Boy Entertainment. And, man, yeah, man, you should keep doing that show, man. You bring it back. Bring it back. That shit is tight, man. Making of the band. I love that shit, man. For real. Like, I loved that shit. Seriously, like, no fucking joke. But yeah, no, the weather's just been fucking terrible here. That's why I cough. I swear to God. On my honor as a man in this universe. The weather's been fucked up, man. It's like hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. You know what I'm saying? Back, forth. Just some wacky weather shit. But, nah, man, make it to the band. Yo. That shit was dope. So anyway, man, similarly, but we ain't on none of that, snotty nose, bratty shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're all grown ass men and we're working on fucking projects together. You know what I'm saying? And we're putting in fucking work professionally. And, we got a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had to learn a lot of software. We had to learn a lot of programs. We had to learn a lot of hardware. We had to learn a lot of frequencies. We had to check the frequency. You know what I'm saying? And, man, learning them frequencies, man. Dude. Man, you see, we've been in this game for like over 25 years. Shout outs to Cool G Rap. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Cool G Rap. Legacy shit, man. Legacy systems. And I'm just saying, like, to do what we do nationwide, located at different locations, man, like bi-coastally, like linked up and spread throughout the US, man. I mean, I got a homeboy from childhood, man. He's a DJ. Shout outs to DJ Slow-Mo. You know what I'm saying? He be traveling to Europe and like Asia, like different parts of the like globe and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, my homies, man, like, man, we worked on a lot of projects, man, and the stuff we do, though, I'm just saying, man, we make it look easy and shit. I'm just saying, man, it ain't really fucking always that easy, man. Some of this shit, man, is highly fucking complex, highly sophisticated type shit. And man, you see, we put in work. I'm your boy, OSGOE.